All right, so I watched Hot D, House of the Dragon, Season 2, Episode 1, the season premiere. And it was pretty good. I'm not going to lie. Every time I go into, like, a new Game of Thrones thing, I kind of just, like, forget what happened. Bro, I don't know why. I have such a bad memory when it comes to Game of Thrones. I genuinely struggle to remember people's names, events, and whatnot. Like, I'm not saying that it's bad and that it's a forgettable show. It's just there's just something about like medieval fantasy bullshit that just it's just like hard for me to remember stuff. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is, but yeah. So like this episode starts, and I was like, oh shit, did they kill one of Rhaenyra's sons? I forgot about that. Obviously now I remember, and I'm like, obviously that's such a pivotal thing. But I was like, wait, did they kill him? And then like a little, and then you get like halfway through the episode, and I'm like, I remember now. Yes, the eye patch kid went after him on his dragon because he was flying on the other dragon, and he was like, "Rah, I'm a dragon," and he killed him. I was like, how did I forget that? But anyways, yeah. So this is the level of intellect you're dealing with for me as a reviewer. No, the episode is really good so far. So, I think this episode just does a really good job of just establishing where everybody's at, right, emotionally. You know, Rhaenyra, she's grieving her son. That was, that's obviously a super compelling place to have her at because it's like, not only is she going for the throne, right? I mean, that's boring. Everybody wants the throne, blah 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 blah. But now it's personal. Now she's like, hey, you killed my son. I'm ready to go sicko mode on all of you guys. So I feel like that really grounds her as a character. I also thought that like the other lady, the lady who I don't remember her name, but she had she was having a conversation with Damon at the beginning of the episode, and she was like, listen, you're a man. You don't understand what it's like for a woman to grieve her son. When I lost my kid, it wasn't until I saw the body myself that I even started the mourning process. And unironically, that conversation kind of tells you, the viewer, of like, oh yeah, so like it's serious. You know what I mean? So I thought that was a very good conversation as well. And yeah, so basically like the Rhaenyra and Daemon, they're kind of like at a point where it seems like they're kind of I don't know. I guess Daemon is always kind of conflicting with Rhaenyra because he feels like, I feel like that was a thing in the first season as well, right? Where like he kind of feels like she's not necessarily fit for the throne, and he's like, gosh, I should be doing this, and that. But like at the same time, I don't think that he's ever gonna like scheme to like, betray her or anything or take the throne from her, because I think he clearly does love her as well, because you get to like the end of the episode and they like touch heads or whatever in a really creepy way. It's like, dude, that's your fucking niece, you fucking weirdo. But I guess everybody's weird in Game of Thrones, so it's like endearing or something. I don't know. Game of Thrones makes us feel weird about social norms. So yeah, I like everything that's going on there. But then I feel like most of the episode and most of the intrigue is at the castle with Alicent and her family, because you have like the king that's currently on the throne, right? He's Alicent's shitty kid. But you know what's interesting? At first I was like, oh, is this guy just gonna be another Joffrey? But honestly, he's actually like I actually like that he's not really that bad of a kid. Like, it's funny. Well, like, because at first when he was just like letting his son. Also, by the way, did we ever see who he had? Oh, I guess it would be the lady, right? Yeah, because I'm just trying to remember, because he has like a wife technically, right? Like the mother who at the beginning of the episode, or the lady at the beginning of the episode, when he was like, "Where is my son?" and he has to like get the information out of her. Listen, she had white hair. I assumed that was like her sister or something. That was like his sister or something. But then you learn at the end of the episode when the thing happens. When the thing happens, that it's like, oh wait, no, that's her son, right? but then that must mean that the king is her. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I just assume that everybody with white hair is related, but I guess not. um, but no. What was I saying? Oh yeah, sorry. At the beginning, when he's having the when he has like the coin guy, he's like, go give my son a piggyback ride. I was like, oh, he's just like doing it to torture him or whatever. But then you get the other scene, or not torture him, but just make fun of him. But then you get like the other scene where he's like actually having to deal with like people's grievances, and it's like at first he's like, oh shit, I actually like feel bad for these guys. I think I want to maybe help them out. Like, yeah, we can give him the sheep. And then like Otto Hightower walks up and he's like, King, you moron, you absolute buffoon. We need those sheep to feed the dragons. And he's like, oh shit, being a king is kind of hard. I can't just appease everybody. But I also wonder if it's like a situation where it's like, no, you probably could appease people. Or like at the very least be like, hey, we're taking your sheep because we got to feed the dragons or whatever. But like, we're going to give you some money to get you by. You know what I mean? I wonder if like it's one of those things where it's like, could they do that? And the Otto Hightower guy doesn't want to do that because, you know, he just wants to like keep, or, you know, because he wants to keep more of like money and wealth for himself and themselves, right? The royalty. I wonder if it's like a situation like that, or if it's like they genuinely can't give him the sheep back, or like monetarily support him in some kind of way. I don't know. Interesting politics and whatnot. So yeah, I actually like that the little king isn't as much of an asshole. Also, Alicent, so she's like having an affair. She's having coitus with her guard. But wasn't his whole beef with Rhaenyra? And again, I'm definitely forgetting the specifics, so correct me in the comments. Wasn't his whole beef with Rhaenyra that, like, Rhaenyra was having sex with him and whatever, and it kind of got to the point where he was like, my queen, I cannot do this anymore, for I am your servant. And my honor and duty compels me to not have sex with you anymore. Or I think she was trying to pressure him into doing something more specific. I don't remember what, though. But I don't know. I saw him eating out Alicent, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry, bro. So you, like, broke off with Rhaenyra, but now you're doing this shit? Okay, bro, whatever. Whatever floats your boat. Fucking... my convictions flip-flop on a dime over here, but I also could be misremembering if Rhaenyra was doing something more bad that caused him to flip on her. Let me know in the comments. Yeah, I also like how the foot fetish guy, he's kind of scheming around. He's like, I like how he like is like kind of telling the king that like, hey, that Otto Hightower guy, he's kind of cringe. You know, like that Otto Hightower guy, he's kind of keeping you back, right? Like he's keeping you from being the king that you want to be, my guy. So it kind of feels like he's like planting the seed of Otto Hightower getting like fired by the king. And maybe he's trying to position himself to advise the king. Kind of feel like that's what's happening there, so that's kind of cute as well. But yeah, so yeah, definitely more of the interesting and engaging like politicking is currently happening in the kingdom. So, which I mean it makes sense. Anybody that's like with Rhaenyra and Daemon at this point, I feel like there's not gonna be any politicking there. It's just like everybody's just like, yeah, we're in this together. We are gonna go get the throne back. But yeah, and then obviously the major thing that happens in this episode is you know, the murder of a child. Now, this actually does kind of confuse me. They end up murdering like the little baby prince. Did Daemon not explicitly like tell them to murder the eye patch kid? Because I remember he explicitly said like, hey, he's actually a pretty good fighter, so watch out. Like, Sure, like I'm just trying to. I couldn't quite figure out if they made an honest mistake and they murdered like the wrong prince, or if they were like, well, I mean, he said murder a prince. I mean, I guess it could be any prince. So they went for like the easier target or something. I'm not sure if that's what happened. So that is interesting. But either way, the blood has been shed, and I assume that, like, what the funny thing is that it's like they did that to get revenge on like, or I guess Daemon was trying to get revenge on like Aemon, right? But the funny thing is that by doing that, I'm pretty sure Aemon isn't gonna care, but Alicent might not even care that much. Like, that's her grandson, right? So, but like at the end of the day, like I don't know how much of an affection she might have for him, right? Although, what am I saying? The morality of people in Game of Thrones has me so fucked up. I'm sure she's gonna feel some type of way about it, but but what they're actually gonna do, I'm pretty sure, is like awaken the fury in the king, because he's been kind of just like laissez-faire going throughout this whole thing. I'm pretty sure now that his son got killed, he's gonna be big mad, and he's gonna be like, all right, I'm in now. We're going sicko mode on our opponents here. So I'm pretty sure that's gonna end up being the consequence from this action. But yeah, I don't know. Overall, episode is pretty good. Good start for the season. Yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.